Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emma and I make art videos, and today I'm doing the cheap art supply challenge. As you can see, I got some mechanical pencils with erasers on the end. I also picked up a fine point Sharpie marker to do my inking. I also got some super grip paintbrushes. And they come in a couple of different sizes, which is good. I also got some coloured pencils. Now this is a pack of 50, however there's only 25 colours. Yeah, there's 2 of each colour. That tricked me, but anyway. I also got some watercolour paints as well. In total this cost me $17 Australian, and I got everything from Kmart. The paper that I'm using is just a sheet taken out of a cheap sketchbook that I have. It's nothing amazing. It is better than printer paper, but it's not like amazing drawing paper or paper that's even meant for watercolour. I did do a test sheet before I started this piece and it handled the watercolour okay, so that's why I was alright with using it. And yeah, so I think I'm going to talk about the supplies that I'm using in the video. So here I am just sketching out the drawing with the mechanical pencil. For the pencil, I thought it was okay. I'm used to using just like your standard kind of pencils, and this one didn't seem as smooth as the others, just because I think, you know, the type of pencil that it is. But I mean, it was okay, it did the job, and it does have the eraser on the end, which is handy. However, I absolutely hate those types of erasers, the white ones that kind of like crumble when you erase. I haven't used one in a long time, so it was kind of annoying. The eraser was actually pretty good though. As you can see, like I erased some pretty dark areas. But yeah, I've been using a kneadable eraser for years now and I don't plan on going back. So yeah, as you can see now, I've started doing the inking. I wanted to do this before I did any of the colouring, just in case I stuffed up. But I didn't, luckily. And this Sharpie is a fine point Sharpie, but it's not really like that fine. Obviously I couldn't get much detail on the eyes or anything like that, and I have left a couple of areas that I define later on with something else, just because I would have completely ruined the picture if I tried to do like her eyebrows with the Sharpie. It was really good for colouring in these like black areas. That was really fun, and it did okay everywhere else. Like, I'm sure I can use it in the future sometime, but I do prefer my Pentel brush pen. And here you can see I've started to do the detailing on the face with the black coloured pencil, just because it has a much finer tip on it and the lines aren't as harsh. And then I decided to go in with the coloured pencil and kind of block in a little bit of colour. When I tested out the supplies earlier, I realised that it was better to put the coloured pencil down first and then do watercolour over the top compared to the other way around. So yeah, and to be honest, the coloured pencils were probably the worst thing that I got. As you can see, the colour doesn't really transfer onto the paper very well, especially with the bow. Like, it's pretty light here, but I was pressing really hard. It was good for like putting in subtle colours on the face, which I thought was good, and it worked well, but yeah, I would not recommend these pencils at all. And I mean, that's kind of like, if you have supplies and they're not like the best, you try and figure out how you can use them to the best of your abilities. Like with this piece, I didn't decide to go in and do the whole piece in coloured pencil because that wouldn't look very good, but because I used it subtly on the face, I think it works well. Anyway, let's move on to talking about the watercolours, which is something I'm actually happy about. These ones were pretty good. I could get them really opaque and I could water them down to make them more transparent. And yeah, I haven't really used watercolour like this for a while. When I was in primary school, I know I used a lot of watered down watercolour, but it was kind of different to this. And I haven't used that in ages. Lately, I've just been using my peerless watercolours and they're very different. But yeah, I was really happy with these watercolours. And I decided to give her green and blue hair because that's what you guys suggested on Instagram, because I asked you what colour it should be. And I really like how it turned out. I don't usually give my characters / drawings green hair, but it was really fun. And I wasn't trying to do like heaps of detail in the hair. I was kind of just playing around with the colours. As you can see here, I'm adding a little bit of definition at the bottom, but yeah, this piece was meant to be kind of stylized. It wasn't supposed to be super realistic or anything. And yes, I know the bow does look not very good with the hair, but I do end up going over that in black soon, and I think it looks a lot better. Another thing I really liked here was the paintbrushes that I got. So yeah, you can see I'm colouring the bow there. But yeah, the paintbrushes, I really liked them. I could have gotten some that were cheaper, but the cheaper option was like a pack of, I don't know, like 7 or something of the exact same size paintbrush. And I was like, I want variety. So I spent a little bit extra and got these ones, and I'm really glad I did because I could obviously use the smaller paintbrushes on the face and the larger ones on the hair. And they were actually quite soft and pretty good. I was really happy with them. I'm sure I will use them in the future sometime. And here is my favourite part of the piece, adding in the bright red background. And as you can see, I can get the paint pretty opaque. I think this colour just makes the piece pop so much. The red looks so good against the green hair, just because they complement each other so well. And it just really completes the piece, I think. I think it's amazing what just like a simple background can really do. And in saying that, I've usually been pretty terrible at backgrounds myself, so I was very happy with this. And then I decided to go in and add some bats, just because I thought the background was a little bit too bare, and her hair bow kind of looks like a bat, and so I just rolled with it. Kind of makes the piece sort of like Halloween-y in a way, but anyway, I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I suggest you guys all try the cheap art supplies challenge. Even if you make YouTube videos or not, doesn't matter. You don't need to film it. Just see what you can create with cheap supplies. You'll be surprised with what you find. Yes, there'll be really shitty stuff, but you might find a couple of good things that you can use. You don't need super expensive supplies to make something. So yeah, in saying all of that, I'm gonna go now. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you all next time.